They had some fool notion we'd be digging out precious minerals for them when they sent us here. Well, no, sir. I damn well mean to make these other boys do the mining. But hell, we all fancied we'd be living high on the hog, sitting pretty, eating crullers as the money poured in. How else would you talk us into 50 bloody years in stasis on one of them generation ships? No, sir. We were gonna be the big bucks, making damned sure this watering hole called Star's End would never forget us. Sure as rain, it was only a matter of time till we drew down on each other. We might have had a smooth operation here for a bit, honest dealings with Earth, building ships and stations, and even hammering ourselves some cities. Granted, all of it. Now our cities are piss holes, our stations ramrodded by tin-pot dictators, and here we are, split down the middle, pointing our ships at each other. Now we got ourselves a predicament. Sure as piss things will turn into war, I tell you. You got your mercantile corporations that teamed up to give us peace and stability, but put a yoke on every man and his dog. Then you got your patriots, outlaw gunslingers using junk and stolen technology to chaw the hand that feeds them. And then you got your loners. We choose our own battles. We make decisions shrewd and careful-like. Because it's only the fools that are poor, and the ill-tempered will get themselves killed. And then you have people like me. The sugar bucks who own everything. Hell, I got what I came for. Question is, are you gonna get yours?
I wouldn't say that there's much missing out of the tutorial, but there are a couple key steps that may want to change a little bit in the very near future. Of course, I'll be bringing it up with the rest of the devs later to see if they could maybe add a couple of steps to the guide which are currently missing. So that said, let's get into the PvPvE world. You could do this in solo, but let's go for the PvPvE, because that way, if somebody else has troubles, we can let them know how to solve those. So let's start up a very new character. I think I've already deleted my old one. This is always relaxing to watch, and then of course the music that's in the background, they did pick the best one for it as well, of course. Okay, so let's set up a character. Oop. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know how to spell my own name there for a sec. Okay, so let's set up the facial abilities. Well, facial options. So at the moment, the only option is the face. Can't do body mass, even though the female looks like the male. Body mass wise, it's pretty much identical. Actually, I think it is identical. So we'll just continue with male. We are Caucasian. Well, I am Caucasian. But let's have a little look at all the different options. Now, I wouldn't put that down as male. There's no in hell I would put that down as a male. But, never mind. Okay, and then you've got the various other options. Okay, so like I said, we're going with Caucasian because I am Caucasian. I'm balding, but unfortunately there is no balding option when it comes to hair. Eye colors, I have about 4 or 5 different colors, so I can never get the exact one. So I'll probably go with the blue that's there because it's probably the closest match. Unless there's a grey with a little bit yellow, green, blue, and red in it. Not that you can actually see the eye colours when you actually approach the characters. Of course, it all depends on what kind of processing power you've got and screen size and everything else. For example, I've got mine currently set for 4K, regardless of the fact that the videos, when they go out onto YouTube, are 1080p. This is primarily to cut down the hard drive space that is being wasted on video footage. Because if you go for 4K file that's 1 hour long, you're looking at about 35 to 50 gigs, where if you have an hour long file for, let's say, 1080p, you're looking at between 5 and 6 gigs. So yeah, size is a factor. So let's go with hair. So at the moment he's got a top knot, and I do not go with top knots. Not that I can't do it myself with the hair that I've got left down the back. Bear in mind the oops, if we go back one step, the location for the top knot is where I've currently got a bald spot. My hair is currently down here. So I've got a bald spot there, I've got a little bit of hair still left up here, and the front end where he's got this bit is reversed on my head. So yeah, that's what happens when you get older, I'm afraid. So hair type, that's probably going to be the main one to use for me. That's how I used to have it before I started balding at the age of 30, 35. No way in hell I would do that because I wouldn't be able to see out of one eye. Fry type mode is fine, but he doesn't have the bald patch on the top. Yeah, no. Although, yeah, I'd say it probably would be better if it was higher, but then without the bald patch at the back. And I wouldn't actually call that completely bald because he's still got a number 1 haircut. So I wouldn't call that bald, I would just call that number 1. Every time I go for a haircut, I go for a number 3. That way my hair doesn't look as bad as it currently does. And of course, with all the lockdowns, I have a beard. I trimmed my beard off, well, mostly off when lockdowns eased a little bit, but I never fully removed it because lockdowns were not fully removed. So my beard currently is not that one. It'd probably give me a nightmare if I did something like that. I tried having my mustache like this, but it always winds up in my mouth. No, I can't do that because I always wind up shaving off this little bit here by accident. That is pretty much the length that I've currently got at the moment. It'd be nice if I could aim his head upwards so we could have a look at how far back it goes, but let's face it, I haven't actually chopped my beard off yet, no matter how irritating it's getting. And yes, when you grow your beards long and you just leave them, they get extremely irritating no matter how many times you wash them. And you always wind up with crap in them as well, which is another annoyance. But going further on what you've got available, no, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd wind up accidentally shaving off too much here, and then I'd wind up shaving off the whole thing. That's how I probably used to look about maybe 1.5 weeks ago. Yeah, my beard grows extremely fast. I shaved it too much when I was in retail, that's probably why. And that's how it would look if I was in a retail job right now, which I absolutely hate, so I'm not doing that. I don't want to go back into retail. It's more than a little bit aggravating. Okay, colours. Oh yeah, we need to change the hair back, so let's go for that one. Okay, so hair colour. We've got a whole array of hair colour, including neon. Although I think they've dyed back the glow on the neon ever so slightly. So that's how I probably used to. If I actually grew my beard and I worked in retail, that's probably roughly what it would look like. Or maybe one back. Maybe a bit more actually that colour. But now that I'm older, I'm getting white in it, and pulling out these white hairs, painful. Don't do it. Okay, and then we've got the other options. If I had white hair, it'd probably be just purely for Christmas. After that, I'd shave off the entire lot. Although for some reason his eyebrows are still burgundy, so that's not quite right. Actually, is that the same colour all the way through? It is. Okay, so eyebrows need to be changed. Okay, and then we've got blue, we have green, we've got red, we've got purple, we have bright pink, which up until recently actually glowed in the dark. We've got a slightly less pinkish pink. And also up until recently, this pink and this yellow used to glow in the dark. But if you actually have this type of yellow now, it just looks like a gold colour hair when you're walking around. And then we've got the standard colours again. So let's go with black for a change, or slightly lighter black. Tattoo scars and stuff like that are not currently in the game. However, if you choose that, what's the word for it? Yeah, not so manly face. There is a scar right there. It's classed as Asian, but I wouldn't even say that that's an Asian male face. Let's be honest. Actually, that's not too bad. That probably would be me. Although my lower lip is definitely lower than that. But yeah, let's go with that character, and let's go through the tutorial from start to finish. So if anyone gets any stuck, I'll put a description down below as to which points start when, and let's see how far we can get. Okay. And let's get out of it, add that feature to the very start of it. Get out or suffocate. Okay, so let's pick up. Oh, actually, let's have a little look at our inventory. So we have one cyanide pill, which to be used only as a last resort. So if you get stuck, you go through, fall through the ground or anything like that, and the stuck command or exiting to the main menu and back does not cure it, then as a last resort, have that. You will have exactly the same as before, but you won't have the scrap metal, and you have to race to your items that you've left behind. We have 1 bottle of water, 1 scrap cloth, 2 ferry tickets so we can go into space and back, and we have a spotter which allows us to use the middle mouse button to see where all the ores are, and vicious creatures like the trawler. And of course I'll be going through all that with you guys very shortly. So let's grab some sticks. There are 3, maybe 4 bushes, which gives us sticks. This is the first one. Oh, look at that. That thing is really close. We need the sticks in order to make the pickaxe. We have the 2 scrap required. I don't really want to do it when we're that close to that thing over there. Plant fiber comes in handy with a range of options. Oops, sorry. With a range of options to do. Let's see if we can grab this one without getting his attention. There is some more down there which I'd like to get, but let's not do that until we get a way of defending ourselves. You can take them out hand to hand, but the survival rate against that is slim at best. I've only been able to do it twice. I haven't been able to do it since, so I'm not going to do that now. I have got a video up where I was able to do it on camera. It's under the Stars and Shorts, where I went through all the various bugs at the time, and helped the devs out a little bit, pointing them down, or tracking them down. Now I am classed as a tester in game. Basically, I do it as a volunteer role, so yeah, volunteer. And because of which I have a sort of a direct route to the devs. Bearing in mind that they are in California. I have to keep thinking of the little hotel of California to remember that it's California and not Canada. But that's where the devs are. Sometimes there are piles of scrap on the ground, and sometimes we can get some more scrap metal that way. Can I see one this time? I would say usually there's 2, but I only see the one at the moment, so that's a bit of a shame. Is there any scrap nearby? We have some iron, we have some salt, we have some stone. Now when it comes, I won't get too much ahead of myself. Let's quickly get this pickaxe done. So first up we want the pickaxe, and then we want to turn all the plant fiber that we've got into scrap cloth. Now we're going to need a hell of a lot more than this, so I'm going to do some collecting of cloth and scrap metal, plant fiber and scrap metal, and I shall see you guys probably close to a boulder. The fox is harmless. There is, well, if you want to get attacked by a bear, then by all means walk up to it. You can defeat the bear hand to hand, as long as the bear is not above you. If you're on a hill and let's say the bear has got higher ground, move to a position where you have the higher ground or equal footing as the bear, and you will be able to take it out hand to hand. I'll show you guys how to do that later on. Same with the boar, you can do that one hand to hand, although it is not, the boar and the fox are not violent creatures unless they are attacked. So if you attack them, they will attack you. If you don't attack them, they won't attack you. Now, the nice thing with the trawler and the bear is you can hear them. If it sounds like water droplets, you know that there's a trawler nearby. If you hear How would I put that sound effect? Like a truck moving about backwards and forwards? Then it's the bear. They make some weird sound, but it basically allows you to say, there's something approaching, to quickly turn around and see it before it actually takes the lump out of you. Okay, so I'm going to quickly grab some more sticks and some more plant fiber. If I see any of the other varieties of plant fibers or sticks, I'll show you guys what they look like as well. So I'll just quickly grab these. Let's also turn the rest of the those ones back into that. Now, another thing, this one would be the best one to aim for, but you need to have at least 2 of these first. So let's do that. And then we can keep the rest of the plant fiber. Okay, so when it comes to arrows, wait a minute, did I make the... I did, okay. For some reason it didn't look like I picked up the pickaxe. But pick up the pickaxe and you can actually see a symbol as to what you can actually pick. Oh, if you hear any weird sounds like go up in the background, that's dev chat. Okay, so when it comes to crafting the arrows, you have to have flint stones and sticks. Now, we have plenty of sticks to go around for a while. Let's actually move that down here, move that one over there. I don't want to be anywhere close to those bills. Okay, so let's... oh yeah, so if it's... when it comes to the arrows, you've got four options to get flintstones. You've got normal rocks, which are not that close at the moment, but we have iron ore and we have salt deposits right here. I would recommend both the iron ore and the salt. Heck, if even what's it called? A sulfur rock will actually give you plenty of flintstones. They'll actually give you a more higher quantity of flintstones, more than anything else combined. But I would definitely recommend using or getting the iron ore and or the salt. The iron ore comes in handy for later on in the construction, but also gives you quite a few flintstones compared to actual rocks. Because rocks give you more rock than actually flintstones. You'd think that it would give you a good combo of both, but it doesn't. So with iron ore you get a fair amount of iron, and you also get a fair amount of flintstones, as we're seeing on screen. Now, at one point it was a case of when the rocks exploded, you had let's say a 30% chance of dying. So if the rock exploded and pushed into you or landed on you, you were dead. But they removed that because people were starting to use that as a way of griefing other players in the PvPvE areas. So at the moment we've got 5 flintstones. I'm just going to hit up this one as well. Now you've got the option of both first person and third person, and if you look at that little yellow bar, it basically shows how far this rock has been, let's say, harvested. So when it's completely empty, then it means it's about or it has exploded. But it comes with a little thin line. It's normally around about 20 hits per rock. So if you hit 20 times, then that's when you can expect the explosion. So it was there we go. We already had one little problem. We were on it and it exploded, and it almost shot us up in the air. If it wasn't for that tree, we could have gotten hit or hurt. because we would have gone up and then hit the ground, and that's where these little bandages come in handy. They call them bandages even though they look like band-aids, but they give you way more health than a bandage. So I always recommend those and the blue varieties, although we can't make the blue ones at the moment. So these ones are made by using the scrap cloth, as we did earlier. And then you have to get at least 10 cacti to make 4 salvo, in which case you use 4 salvo and these bandages to make the medicated bandages. So where these ones will cover, let's say about the blue line is your health bar. A single one of these ones will probably cover up to about that portion of your health bar, where the blue ones will cover, let's say, that portion of your health bar. So I always recommend getting all the cacti that you can get your hands on, converting it into salvo, and then making lots of these bandages, let's say preferably 10 of them, and then medicating the majority of them, and using the medicated ones sparingly, but use these ones if it's only something tiny. Your health does replenish over time, but I think there's a couple other circumstances that have to be addressed between that period. So let's also quickly hit up the salt. So we've currently got 11. Let's see how many we get if we can hit this thing. It seems like hitboxes are currently a little bit of a problem, because sometimes you can try and hit a stone, you could be completely right up against it, and it wouldn't be doing any damage to it. So hitboxes are a little bit of a pain at the moment, but the game is still very early access, and some bugs are to be expected. So let's see how far away. Boom. Okay, so we had 11, we've now got 16, so that's a total of additional 5. So it's actually the same as the iron ore at the moment, but it gives us salt as well, which is a requirement for one of the best foods that you can make in the game. But we're once again getting that little bit ahead of ourselves. So what I'll do is I'll quickly hit up this one as well to give us some more iron. If I can find a rock before we run out of liquids, I'll quickly harvest that one up for the additional flintstones and the rock, because we're going to need that later on as well. But let's quickly do a couple of these arrows. So these are packed arrows, and all you do is craft a batch of them. Let's do all 5. Then once it's created, you do a right click on it and do unpacked, and this will go to the next one. And in the meantime, let's quickly continue to hit up this. Now you have a first person and a third person option. The default key to go from between first and third is T. Okay, so basically when you're crafting, you can also walk away, you can do other things. That is one of the new-ish features. It was new up until maybe a month ago. So let's quickly unpack these. So now we've got the 3 required arrows, being 60. We now have to create a an axe, a saw, and collect 3 wood logs. So an axe and a saw we have. Yep, we've got all. Oh no, we don't have all the bits. We need some scrap metal. So I'll just quickly hit up this one, and I shall see you guys once I can get a hit on it. I will see you guys closer to Clayton, because that's one of the destinations that we need to go to. Not to mention, if that was closer, then yeah, that was closer. So I'll be heading towards that one first, because we're going to need that one later. I know, what am I saying? We need scrap metal, so we need that one there. Yeah, to hell with it. Let's go for the scrap metal, 665 meters, well, 0.1 meters from here. What is that? That's a bear at 1.1. Okay, so that's fine. So we can hit up that metal ruin for scrap. I'll show you guys how to do it in a sec. I'll just quickly continue to hit this one up if we can, and I'll meet you guys down there. They grow like wildfire if you let them, and they are very hard to remove in real life. But yeah, if you collect those, they also give you sticks, and there's two varieties. There's a 4-stick variety and an 8-stick variety. I believe that's 4. Yep. So if you see these ones, they also give you sticks. Now, before we can harvest a tree, we need to create an axe and a saw. So let's find those metal ruins, which we're en route to Clayton. So that one over there. So I shall see you guys there. Having a jetpack. I'm not sure if we can actually get up there without it, but we can always try. Bearing in mind that we're currently encumbered. Oop, there's also a couple more here. Okay, piece of metal. Now if you see these domes, and you get too close, you'll have a skull and crossbone in red come up on the screen. That means that you're in a PvP area and players can kill each other there. If you're not in a PvP area, players are not supposed to be able to kill you in-game. Now, I say supposed to be because people are people and they'll try and exploit things the best way they can. And they can be a real pain in the rear end sometimes. Ooh, we've got enough for another pickaxe, but we don't need another one just yet. We're going to need a lot more metal than we've currently got. So instead of finding lots and lots of these scrap piles, these little piles down here, which after we've accessed it once, we can't access it again, which is a nice way of saying you've already looted this one once, you can't do it again, not for another 15-20 minutes. That's when loot respawns. So the best way to get scrap is to grab your pickaxe, and just like with the rocks, the ores and everything else, just walk up to it and just hit it up for scrap. Now when it comes to the scrap piles, it can be anywhere between 11 and 15 hits to empty a scrap pile. Where it says new player status off, it means that we have now been in the game long enough to not class as a new player. Granted, I'm not a new player in the slightest. But that said, I'll just quickly hit up this and we shall see what we have gained afterwards. Oh, looks like we're actually almost there. There we go. And if you hear that, it means resource depleted, but of course we can also see it now. Okay, so we had 2 already, so that's a total of 23 scrap so far. I think there's 1 additional metal plate. So all in all, not bad. So let's go to crafting. Let's craft a axe. And let's craft a saw. And wait till that changes. Although it still wants us to do the logs, so let's head towards it. But if a red mark appears in the in the right side, down the middle side of it, then we don't want to get any closer. We want to go backwards, because there are Creativerse in the game. So let's not go in that way. Let's go on the outside of this person's little base and little ship, which we will also be doing later on today. Unfortunately, I think this video is going to turn out to be a lot longer than 1 hour, and I do apologize for that in advance. There we go, there's our trees to hit up, along with a lot more scrap metal, so let's do that. So let's get number 4 for the axe, and straight away we have one of the new symbols for chopping down wood. So these ones basically show us which ones can be chopped down. Now, every tree should be choppable, but there is another bug with the trees. There was a bug up until recently. I'm pretty sure it's gone, but it does rear its ugly head once or twice, and that is, you chop down the tree, it doesn't fall over. Sometimes it does produce logs, sometimes it doesn't. 9 times out of 10 it does, even though when it's the thicker one. But when it was the thicker one, the logs were stuck inside the tree, and they were hard to get out and turn into smaller logs. The smaller trees like this one, the log would appear next to it, and the tree just would refuse to go down. The other bug, which can be changed, but it's not really a top priority for the devs at the moment, which is the sound effect. It's the wrong way around. Okay, so it's got a little bit of a time delay bug on it at the moment, so we only need the one at the moment, so we've got the option to carry it to a base location by hitting F on it straight away. And then you basically carry it. Unfortunately, there is a problem if you go backwards with it, and the walking animation does not reflect the speed that we're actually walking in. So there is a little problem with the animation there. So let's drop it with F. Now we've got the option to continue carrying it, or we just go for number 5, which is the saw. Keep the marker, make sure that you keep the marker on the piece on the big tree log, and saw. And this should give us a total of 10 by making us go through this routine 5 times. There you go, so we've got a total of 10. Is that enough? It is enough for that, but it's not enough for us currently. Let's see, do we have a water well anywhere close by? We do, but what's that one over there? I think that's the bear, isn't it? Let's head towards the bear, because there is something that is not covered, and that is how to get your food. So I'll be making my way to the bear after gathering a couple more logs, and I'll meet you guys there. Hit up in gameplay, not currently. They've only given me hide and no meat, so it's a percentage issue at the moment. So there's a couple of ways for us to take it out. There's the bow, which is the easiest option. There's the axe and the pickaxe, which I would say difficult at best. And that's my favourite option. Go to first person view and do hand to hand. So let's do that. That way we save on arrows, and we can use arrows to kill other things that are quite a bit harder. Okay, so at the moment the bear doesn't see us, but that's the sound it makes, and that's how you also know and there's one there. Wake up. Ah, I'm getting timing issues. There we go. Now, timing is a factor. I'm actually double tapping the left mouse button just as I move. Unfortunately, some of the timing I've got slightly off. Come on. Oh, damn it. And again. Damn it. There we go. If I go forward a little bit. There we go. Now, timing is always key with a lot of them, and the only one that I have yet to get the timing down to a T is the trawler. They are extremely hard because they are very fast, and instead of slicing upwards, they slice down on you, and they are very difficult hand to hand. I've only been able to do it successfully a handful of times. Yeah, it's not what I would say easy compared to the bear and the bull. But that said, we were heading to. We could head towards the water supply, or we could head for. Where is it? Clayton. We could do Clayton, or let's do the Waterwell. Let's say we can get close to Waterwell, but a village or a town is, let's say, out of our reach. So let's say a Waterwell is definitely closer than Clayton or Spaceport or any other building where we can get water from. Granted, we have. Let's quickly ransack that town unless there's a trawler nearby. Fox. It would give us the same problem with the bear. Oh, there's another water over there. 430, 451. Okay, so let's see if we can get some food from the some meat from the fox. If we can, then that will help later on as well, because there is something else that's not well. Now we know how to get the hide. We are supposed to be able to get meat from the animals that we kill as well. From the bugs, we've got the percentage between getting yeast and getting bug eggs. Now the eggs are quite good. They give you plenty of food. I think it's up to two hits of eggs in order to fill you up completely, which is really good. But it's one of the requirements that we need after we've done the campfire and the bow drill. We have to be able to cook something, and we don't start with the raw resources. We actually have to get them. And I like to actually cover that bit before placing down the campfire, before using the bow drill to light it. Let's see if this fox, if it's actually there, if it gives us any meat. If it does, that will definitely help us very soon. Me, I'm having one of those little issues with my stomach acid again. Could be because it's 3 AM. Okay. Of course, I'm holding down shift for run, but can't run because we're overloaded. How much are we overloaded by? More than 5 times the carry weight. Oh, looks like he's rubber banding. Okay. Now, I don't particularly like fighting the fox hand to hand, because close and personal with the fox, they are very fast and very low to hit, and timing is not easy. If you want to take on the fox hand to hand, I suggest getting quite a lot of bandages and just standing still and hitting the damn thing. Okay, so we've got some meat, so that's good. As you can see, we are getting a bit low on water. Now, as I showed you guys earlier, we start with 1 water bottle. But I'd like to make it here before, or to one of these ones before I start putting down the campfire and the bow drill. Now, these always have these little bags over here for medical supplies. Very rarely I ever see anything in there, but it's always worth checking it. And also, equally rare is that you find various boxes of goodies or fuel on the deck. Now, we've got some eggs there, which is going to be really good as well, because that means that we don't need to use the meat later on, which is another reason why I like to hit these ones up before I put the campfire down. So let's create a campfire first and a bow drill. We haven't done it yet. We want to do 1, we don't want to make too many of them. We don't want to make any of the other bits yet until it actually comes up on there, otherwise we'll have to do it multiple times. Note that you can't actually drink anything while you're crafting, so that can be an issue sometimes. So let's drink up the clean water. And because we're close to this thing, if we hit right click, use, that fills that up with dirty water. That would come in handy very soon as well. So let's place the campfire. For some reason, lately it's been giving the hitting animation, which is one of the bugs I found in the Unity version of the game, or the main server, which everything gets added to, which we then test and everything else. I kept finding that in Unity, and it was a royal pain in the rear end. Now we hit F to use it, but we can't use it yet. First we need to light it, so let's light it with the bow drill. Sounds like a lighter actually, so that still needs to change. I need to find a sound effect for it. And then we have to create, oops sorry, I've gone into it too soon. We have to craft fresh water. So having gotten the water from there earlier with that water bottle, giving us dirty water. Another reason why I'd like to hit these areas up is that quite often, unfortunately not today, we will find empty water bottles in these rubbish bags, which give us a little bit more of a water option. So let's craft the clean water. We left click on that one. Do not do right click and use on this one, because you will wind up drinking it. Now at the moment it doesn't give you any negative effects, but we don't know when that's going to change. So let's do craft. And now it gives us the hunting and cooking one. So craft bug eggs or cooked meat. Use the bow at range, the axe. I would actually put this the hunting part before putting the campfire down. But because we have already done so, and we've also planned some eggs here, that was a big plus. So let's do that. So let's do the eggs and not the meat. I will show you guys why very shortly. It's another reason why we got the salt, very first thing. So the eggs give us ample amount of food. Let's quickly pull this one up again and also do that one. This is again the main reason why I always put the campfire down here. Now we are still fairly thirsty, so let's drink that one. Let's once again use that empty bottle. Let's once again create some clean water. Okay, so our hunger level is the same as our sleep at the moment, which is 31%. So let's have those eggs. And now it's 91, so it's gone up by 60%. That's why I recommend doing the eggs when cooking, because the meat I think only gives about 30, maybe 40% if cooked. But there is something better to do with that meat. And I'll show you guys now. Now, when you've got meat, you've got the option to do cooked meat, which gives a little bit of food quality. When you've got fibre and water, you can make fibre soup, which gives you a little bit of food, a little bit of thirst back. You have the hearty meat stew, which I highly recommend. I shall see you guys why very shortly as well. You've got meat stew and you've got the smoked meat. Now, I don't tend to bother with these unless I actually find them in the world, but I highly recommend making those. You need 1 raw meat, 1 water and 2 salt. Hence why hitting up that salt very first thing comes in so handy. So let's craft that one. We've only got 1 water bottle at the moment, so we just have to refill it, and being so close to the water resource is always a big plus. Now you don't have to use the well, you can use the stream, you can use the river, you can use anything like that. Let's go back in there again. Oh, that's weird. We do have 1 raw, oh yeah, sorry. We have to boil the water first, of course. And then we can make 1 more hearty stew because we still have 1 raw meat. Now it's a shame that they don't stack, but if you buy them as a group from the shop, then you can get them to stack. So let's pull these down here for the moment. Let's put that one up there. Let's fill that one again with dirty water. Let's quickly craft up some clean water. Let's have 1 more drink before we head off. So drink that. Use that. Craft that. There we go. So now we have 1 clean water and we have 2 hearty stew. Now later on I'll show you guys why I recommend doing the hearty stew. But until the sleep, the hunger gets really low, let's pick up the campfire. It's nice and sunny, which is good. I thought the sun was going down earlier. It was actually rising, which is an even bigger plus because that means I don't have to wait 2 to 3 hours for the sun to rise. Okay, so we need to find Clayton. Which direction is Clayton? Clayton is over there, 1.2 kilometers, so roughly about 1 mile. Okay, so it wants us to craft a sleeping bag and a satchel. Now, to me, sleeping bag can come in handy. Satchel, because I'm always overloaded, not so much. But we have to craft both. So we have to have plenty of scrap cloth for it. So let's go to crafting. We go to survival. Let's craft up the remaining scrap cloth that we can make. We also want to create a sleeping bag which requires 6 cloth. We want to do 1 of them. We don't want 5, so yep, just 1. And 1 satchel, which requires 12 cloth. Hence why you want to pick up as much plant fibre as possible. Speaking of which, let's top up on the plant fibre en route. So that should disappear very shortly. Now you've got the option to use the sleeping bag straight after it, which I guess we could do, because it will save us that meal until we're actually hungry. Let's see, there's not going to be anything that's going to spawn on us except for maybe a fox. So that's alright. So let's use the sleeping bag. You can place it anywhere in the world, except for if you're in somebody else's claim area. Okay, let's go back over there. Okay, so let's put the sleeping bag down. And then hit F. Now, time does not pass, even in single player, when you have your character sleep. It just lets them rest for a couple of seconds. Okay, once it's up again, we hit X on the sleeping bag to pick it up. Okay, so now it's well rested. Food is currently at 81 and water is at 84. We want to go to Clayton, which is over there. Is there anything en route? There's a bear over there. And a bear, 1.5. Okay. So let's head over in that direction. Let's continue to collect the plant fiber en route. And when we get to Clayton, actually need to do the horse bit first. So there's a horse at 762.2 meters, and that is not completely en route with Clayton, but it's not that far. We can go from the horse straight to Clayton. That is definitely something that's going to be relevant later. That's why it's got such a big marker. But let's make our way to actually 241 versus 700. Let's go for the one at 200 meters, and I'll grab the salt and the sulfur en route. Granted, the sulfur is not really needed at the moment, but I'll just quickly grab all that stuff, and I shall see you guys there. Okay, so we need to craft a saddle, so let's do that. Now that we've crafted the saddle, let's claim our horse and get on it. So we've got the option to look around using the mouse. Controls are using the WASD keys, unless you've changed those controls. And you've got a third person option as well. Okay, I just saw another cacti. It looks like aloe vera, but it's actually classed as cacti. So let's grab that one. Oh, two, should I say. So let's grab both of those. Sweet. That will help with our medical bandages. And now we can go fast by hitting shift, or by hitting control, we can go even faster. Now it does require quite a lot of horse stamina. Okay, I don't know who that was, but I don't think that they were a dev, but I could be wrong. Now, I don't think I've could have sworn that this area had at least one mech, but I could be mistaken there too. Okay. Normally I would say that there's usually one mech hanging around, so maybe there's a problem with the mechs again. Maybe they're floating off in the stratosphere again. Now, another area to loot up would probably be all these bins. It is the best way to get items, not abilities, but items. So I would definitely recommend looting up every area except for if it says steel on it, because even though it's a PvE mostly build server, if you get any stars above because you've been stealing things or you've killed other players, everyone can see exactly where you are, and if you wind up in a PvP zone, they'll have all rights to kill you. Actually, I think they can, if you've got any stars above, I think they can kill you even when you're not in a PvP zone, so it's something to watch out for. If you go into these buildings, be warned, there is only stuff that you can steal. You can't loot anything, including the bins. So I wouldn't really bother going in there unless you don't mind the wanted status. Now, you can harvest these ones up as well, although I don't recommend it because you might you might wind up with a bug. I can see if we can try and get that bug intentionally. Let's have a little peek. Now, what happened to me quite a lot is where I would just harvest something up, and all of a sudden it just kept doing that same animation, and it would only allow me to walk diagonally. It wouldn't let me actually change direction. So we can have a look if that bug still appears. Either way, we wind up with a lot more resources. The only problem is it takes a bit longer. And for some reason, two resources are still being removed every time we harvest up certain items. Maybe because they're too close together or something else, but I'm not hitting my usual bug around this place. Weird. Oop, there's another one that disappeared. Oops, and I just right clicked there when I was trying to harvest. Unfortunately, when it comes to my middle finger, it does have one of those itchy trigger finger actions to it. It likes to just move by itself. Now, it would be worst case scenario if it was the last one. Nope, it didn't hit us this time. Well, let's not risk it with that one because it's just going to take too long to do it, and I want to get you guys through this tutorial probably sooner rather than later. Okay, so we have to find 3 empty water bottles, and it recommends Clayton, and in a way so do I, because chances of finding lots of loot in Clayton is definitely the highest. Wait a minute. The wires just spawned in after we hit a point. Is there a placement bug with the wires, or is it? Yep. If you go beyond this point, all the wires disappear. Okay, I'll have to bring that up with them later on as well. That's a bit freaky. Okay, so let's head off to Clayton. So we've got the option to go through here. Okay, so we've got another wild horse over there. It looks like somebody's landed. Another one just left their horse. Now, when it comes to leaving your horses unattended, your aircraft, I would personally recommend that you actually put them in your inventory and quite frankly into your global loot option. Now, to pick up the horse and the vehicles, if you go into tab to bring up your inventory, go to info. You've got horse beta or beta prairie. I can never pronounce or spell that if I tried. Hit X, hit yes, and it disappears, but it doesn't get deleted from the world. Instead, it just goes straight into your inventory. What you can then do is to right click it, place it when you want to use it again. And there we go. Now, the F12 option, you guys will not be getting that. Apparently, that's only if you've got dev status or GM status or moderator status, anything like that, and you'll have that option. But if you're just a normal player, you won't have the F12 option. Now, I'm not 100% sure why that option is there, but I would think it's a cleanup option. And if things are placed where they're not supposed to be placed and they're aggravating other players, we have the ability to remove them. But, and there is a but, myself, others that have this ability will not do it if we don't think it's a good idea, or if we don't think the reason is good enough. I have yet to do it, and I probably won't do it for quite a while, because even though I'm a volunteer tester, I don't want to have that kind of heat. If somebody is still playing and they all of a sudden they go, where's my vehicle gone? Or, where's my base gone? Because we have the option to do it to the bases too. Now, if it's a griefer and they are known griefers and they set up traps on the the PvE areas, I don't care about PvP. If they set it up on the PvE areas, then I have an extreme urge to remove. Now, I won't remove if it's not that bad, but if it's like an actual trap, then I will set off all the traps and delete the thing. I have no qualms with it. I've set off all the traps on 2 bases so far. I was not the one that removed them, but I don't mind taking the heat for it because I set off all the traps and it damn near killed my computer doing so. So I have no qualms of removing stuff like that from the server, or any server that is not PvP. But they've changed it in the game so that mines do not work in the PvE areas. So only place that mines actually work and can be crafted are PvP zones and PvP servers. So good luck with that, guys, but those traps will not work anymore. They're not wanted. Yeah, nobody likes griefers. Okay, so we're currently in Clayton. So we've got little rubbish bins all over the place. So let's hit them all up for bottles. So let's quickly pick up our vehicle. Because we don't want to be clogging up the area with unwanted vehicles. We still want to use it, but unlike people just leaving their stuff just laying it all over the place, decaying after time, because they do despawn after a while as well. We can actually have a little look at that ship over there, see how long it's been, well, sort of estimate how long it's been there. I think vehicles they're all limited to about 14 days. So let's see what kind of time frame is left on this vehicle and see if it's just been dumped. 13 days, 22 hours, so it's been left for a couple hours. So it could be that's from a new or newish player, or a slightly veteran player that's just done a new character. These guys, you don't really want to upset them, and you definitely don't want to be around them if you've got any stars in the top middle of the screen. Now, recently there's been an update so that when you walk around them, when they're around, that the FPS doesn't drop. Now, I've got VSync switched on because I don't want to aggravate the hell out of my new graphics card too much. Where my old one, well, it didn't like the bit where I wound up setting off all the traps on Nox. On the PvE server, when VSync was switched off. And that's probably what did some... I don't think it was that did the damage to the graphics card. I'm pretty damn sure that it was the Microsoft update, but I think that what happened with that trap was the nail in the coffin for that £500 graphics card. Okay, so there are still a couple graphical issues in these buildings. I've already given the developers, let's say, a floor plan or a map by going into let's say the stratosphere, looking downwards at the layout of the roads, made pictures of all the buildings that have got problems and where those problems lie. So just have to hope that the dev that's responsible for putting all the loot areas in the POIs can get it all sorted out soon. I know it's not a top priority because there are other bugs that are, well, there are bugs that are definitely top priority. I'm pretty sure there was another one here. Yep, there we go. And I don't think there was one on this side, but let's quickly double check that wall too. No, there's not one on there. Okay. Okay, so we need 3 water bottles before we can continue. There we go, that's the third one. So now it wants us to make a makeshift claim block. Now to do this we need the, how do you pronounce it? Turfite ore? How many bits and pieces do we have? Now when it comes to mining in that area, I'd rather have a grazer, but the grazers are expensive. They're expensive to make and they're expensive to buy in-game. You can buy them, you can make them, but making them and buying them are a problem. Making them, you have to have various resources. You already have to have things in space so that you can get various materials, including copper and crystal, which is used to make crystals, and that can only the silicon can only be crafted in space using the space station up there. And then you've got the buying option. Now we could go to this this trader over here. If you see any trader like this in the world, even not in the cities but just external, I highly recommend selling your stuff to these guys because they give you the better options. I think the saw was there last time, so nobody's pinched that one yet, I see. Okay, so show me your wares. Now, flintstones is probably one of the best things to trade in. I wouldn't trade in the salt because the salt is useful for other things that we want to make later. Could sell the ferry tickets, but again, I wouldn't sell those because there are ways to use these ones where, for example, the price of one ticket is 50. However, if you're, let's say, on a space station and you want to go to the planet, I think sometimes it is 50, but sometimes it's 250. So it's always worth keeping hold of those tickets. Because you've got the option to either buy a ticket for the full price or use one of the tickets you've already got for 50. So, okay, so let's sell up those ones. We've still got 55 arrows, so because we keep punching the bears, that's fine. We only use the arrows on the trawlers. So that gives us 341 credits for 39, so that's not bad. Basically it gives us 35% of the total value of each item, hence why it's a recommended trader. Then we could also sell the additional hide. We can sell the fungus because it will take us too long to actually get to the point to be able to use it. We could sell the horse, but at the moment we will keep it. Basically, if you make lots of saddles, you can actually sell the horses for, I think it's 100. So it works out definitely worth doing, but you'll always wind up encumbered by quite a lot of weight. Now, the rest we want to keep. We don't need the bio stuff. We don't need that yet. We don't really need the coal yet. The coal is only useful for making black powder. We don't need the gauze because it doesn't do as much healing as the band-aid. I think it does about a quarter of what the band-aid covers, so it's pretty damn small. We want to keep the egg because we can turn that into either egg soup or just food. Speaking of food, we need some water. I don't think we can craft one that quickly within that time frame, so let's come on. Oh, apparently I have to do right click now. Okay, buy that one. Use that one. No, not sell. Oh damn it, I'm going through that problem again. Okay, buy that one. This is the problem of being with a trader when we actually want to use it. Okay, so that was a problem. I forgot that we had already used it. Now, when the hunger gets to a lower point, I'll show you guys why I recommend the hearty stews. Okay, so that's pretty much what I want to sell. I want to keep hold of all the other items because they'll come in handy later on, but we don't need to have them on our character currently. So let's go to the global loot, which is this ATM looking device, and drag that over here. I don't know why this is currently here. For some reason that used to be over there automatically, now it's not. So that's a bit of a oh, I know why it's not there. It's because if you wanted to use something or if you wanted to spread something, it would always be a problem. In a way, I guess it is a good thing that it's there, so long as we don't drag it on there. In which case, I don't know why when we're accessing this, this bit is open. Never mind. Let's just drag everything across. The bits that we don't currently need. Those. The eggs. Oh, we've got 11 cacti. I'll show you the process of that later. as long as we've still got some time left. Sorry about the very length of time on this episode, guys, or this little guide. Okay, and we don't need the credits on this either. Okay, so let's quickly grab some more water, some fresh water, and then we can go to the mine over there, get the ore that we need in order to make the land claim block. So if we go in this direction, there is a fountain, albeit it's not currently showing. Using the middle mouse button, there we go, it's right there, and then we can use that one to make some clean water. So what I'll do is I'll put a small break here so I can also have something to drink, and I shall see you guys over there by the mine. Now these bushes over here are the next one where we can actually get sticks from. So we can get several sticks from these bushes as well. So at the moment it's 7 sticks. So that will be the third bush where you can actually get sticks from currently. I think there is one more, but it's always hit and miss with that one. So I'll just quickly grab some clean water and I shall see you guys over by the mine. You can actually get it quickly in the early game is during Christmas period. That is the grazer. 4,200 credits. It's a lot. And in order to make one, you need the electronics bench, which you can create. You can make it. You need the workbench. You need some silicon, I believe. You need some copper wire. You need, I think, a circuit board as well. And I think you need some power cells. Now, you can buy the power cells, but as you can see, they are also very pricey. Heck, you can buy the components. But I think making it versus buying it, I think it's cheaper just to buy it. So it's always worth just either just looting up the entire area several times, and then trading it in over there, and then buying the grazer, or wait till Christmas until the Christmas part comes in. You've got that Jingle Bell song continuously going off and you can't stop it. And then you loot up all the presents for all the cake, the Christmas mix and everything else. And you trade that in, and you trade it into that little chap over there, and you get a lot of money for it, and you can buy the grazer after looting that Christmas area maybe once. So it all depends on when you start the game. Okay, so let's go to that mine. Now, the animals like bears and trawlers will ignore you if you are horseback, but if you're on a quad bike in a rover, they won't ignore you. So, at least that's been my experience. I'm not sure if that's changed again, but there is the option that they might not. But if we quickly go to where this trawler's over here. There we go, there's the sound effect it makes. It completely ignores us when we're horseback. But if we were to get off the horse, it would start attacking us instantly. So in order to take these guys on, we want to go out a little ways. That should be far enough. We want to be in first person view because using the bow third-person view, it's way off. We've got 55 arrows. I can show you why I only use the bow first-person view. Oops. Okay, did we get its attention? No. No, we did. As you can see, the aim is off quite a bit. Now, somebody has asked me quite a few times to try kneeling, crouching down, and then using it. If we do third-person view, it's fine, but the aim is still way off. And the creatures will attack you way before you can actually get up, so that's why I don't do it. And first-person view, yeah, there is still that issue there, but it's not really effective doing a sneak option at the moment using the bow, because you don't get enough shots off before it actually dies and before it actually gets a hit in on you. And if you get hit, there's a chance of you bleeding out until you get a bandage on, or other problems. Now, another thing that I found... Oh, actually, we haven't looted that thing up yet. Another thing that I've found quite often is when you're sitting on horseback or sitting down in the cockpit of an aircraft, chances are that your stats does not go down. So if you want to chat with somebody online, but not through the game, or if you want to go to the toilet, anything like that, go on horseback in PvE area. Nothing will bother you, and you can go without worrying about your stats. So let's make way to the mine over there, and I should see you guys once we reach it, unless we do a gallop, and that means that it will be very, very soon. I think the length of time for vehicles like horses to despawn being 15 days, 14 days, 15 days is a bit too lenient, because people really need to put them in their inventory, because people just keep leaving them when they think that they don't want them anymore, without realizing you can actually sell them if you don't want them. They just leave them in the world to sit until they despawn. It's a shame, really. Okay, so let's park our horse up here. Now, as you can see, our food is at 19. We definitely don't want that to hit 0. So what I'll do is I'll show you guys why I prefer the hearty stew above all other foods. Now, if we look at our full stats, we've got 38 for sleep, 19 for hunger, and 68 for drink. We have one hearty stew. And all three stats go instantly to 100%. No matter how low they are, they straight away go to 100. For some reason, it went down by 2% really quickly on sleep and hunger. So I'm not sure why that is, but I still recommend the hearty stew above all else. Oh, it looks like somebody is wanted over there. So if you become outlaw, by stealing or by killing other players, you get that green marker over there, and everyone can see your name. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is one of the griefers, or one of the ones that was griefing quite a lot. So time will tell to see what actually happens next. Now we do have the option to take the bounty on his head. Unfortunately, by doing so currently, we would wind up with a bounty on our heads. So I'm not going to do it. Unless he's actually out and about griefing, then I'll have no choice but to do it. So let's see, there's nobody saying anything about it yet, so let's hope nothing happens. Okay, so let's continue on and loot up these containers before we head down into the pit. Question is, do we still have any sticks on us? Yes, we do. Okay, so good reason to have sticks and scrap metal on us is that the pigs have a finite lifetime, and in order to loot up this entire area, you're looking at 2 to 3 pickaxes. Now all we need is all this blue stuff, so I'll just quickly hit up all of these, and I shall see you guys once I'm done. This could take about 10 to 15 minutes if I loot up the entire lot. I've timed it a couple of times and I'm pretty sure it's 10 to 15 minutes. So let's head back. Oops. Looks like Mr. Sanchez's marker has disappeared. So either he's gone back offline or the mechs killed him, or somebody else may have killed him. But I'm pretty sure that because I don't see any other marker anywhere else, I'm pretty sure the mechs got him. So probably didn't realise that the mechs were reactivated. Okay, speaking of which, we now need to head to the refinery, which is that turquoise blue one over there. So let's head in that direction. Oops. Okay, so around here we have another option to do quite a lot of looting. So we can do the looting before or during the crafting. I would normally do it before crafting. However, just to make things a little bit more speedy, we can actually do both. So there we go. So as you can see, we have 311 iron ore, we've got 66 rocks, we've got 99 flintstones, and we have 252 of this blue ore. Actually, let's quickly drink something first. So it's going to take a fairly long time. Okay, so now that our characters are, well, was 100 on the liquids. Let's quickly do the concrete. So we've got 16 concrete, that's not going to be enough. We have 155 iron and 63 of that blue ore to turn into ingots. Okay, so it's going to take us a little while to get through that lot. So what I'll do is I will tab out and quickly show you guys the areas to loot, and once that's done, I will see you guys once the crafting has finished. And I may have to take a break to refill my own stomach. There we go. Unfortunately, we can't loot these ones currently, so let's hope that they do something about it. And as you can see, the rain is a little bit away from at the moment, especially in here. Actually, was it hitting down there? Not sure. I don't think it was. I think for some reason the rain itself from up here though instead. Come on. Okay, so normally I would just jump off, but because we don't have a jetpack at the moment, we're over encumbered, and we're crafting, I would not recommend just jumping over the side here, because it means that we can't use the bandage without cancelling what we're currently crafting. You can restart it again, it does not delete the resources, but yeah, what I'll do is I'll put a small break here and I'll have a small break myself, and I shall see you guys once all this crafting is done. Okay, and we're back in again, but having left the game, come back in, it seems that I have that tree bug again. Trees are not where they're supposed to be. Okay, so let's see, we've now got 36 concrete, 155 iron and 63 tarphite. Okay, so let's quickly get the horse out and we can continue again. So next one is make the claim block. Okay, so in order to do the claim block, we don't need a workstation for it yet, so what we could actually do is make it first. Now, what you're currently seeing is a bug which I'm hoping is going to get fixed pretty soon. I've just reported it back to the devs to say that I'm hitting this issue again, where log out near the refinery, log back in, and you've got trees where they don't belong. So let's hope that this all gets resolved really quickly. And I'd like to know who keeps leaving their horses behind, not picking them up at all. You've got roughly just over 7 days left. Well, by the time this video goes up, probably 6 days left in order to pick them up. And apparently, they've apparently we got the devs have problems with the trees spawning all over the place on the main server, where everything gets put together and tested on. So it seems to be a complete issue at the moment, and let's hope it gets solved really soon. Okay, so the makeshift claim, we want to go back into our inventory, craft, and hit that one up. It uses some scrap metal, some concrete, and some turfite. That's why I always keep a fair amount of scrap metal on us at all times. It's also why I hit up the rocks for the concrete. And of course we needed that as well. We only need one. So let's change that. Let's once again pull that down here so it's not covering the text. And let's find a suitable location to put down a base. Now ideally it would be somewhere that's got some much needed resources. Okay, we're going to have that sound effect go through it for a little while. I'll be 1 sec, I'm just going to quickly report that too. Okay, so I just exited to main menu and came back in, and it looks like the trees are back to normal as well, which is a bonus. So let's quickly jump on our horse again. Okay, and we now have to place the makeshift claim. So let's find a suitable location to set up shop. Now we want to make sure that it's somewhere where we can get some food, preferably somewhere close to some salt, and preferably with a water deposit quite close too. So seeing that that's got salt, scrap metal, and a wreck a little bit further on, let's see if that's no, that's not going to be near water. Not that short a distance. Let's see if we can find a good one. I shall see you guys once we've actually reached it. It looks like somebody may have beaten us to it, but no, actually it looks like it's right. So here's the big question, if we can put a claim block down here, this would probably be a really good location because granted we've got some neighbours then, but we have a water supply, we have some salt, and we have one of the really, really good traders really close by. We have a trawler over there. We have a boar over there and something else a little bit further. Looks like another boar. Yeah, 2 boars. Another trawler over there and a bear. So if we put down, let's say close to where this tree is, might be one of the optimal places. I wonder if we can place it a little bit closer to that trader. There's the salt. Looks like somebody else has put down over there. We're gonna have quite a few neighbours. Let's see if we can put down over here, close to where the ship is and this wild. Oh, I thought it was a wild horse, but maybe not. Looks like it's another dumped horse. Poor thing. Okay, so let's get off here. Let's quickly pick up our horse. Oh yeah, I had a little look at the changes that are going to go out for the next update, and there are going to be some things changing that are definitely going to be an improvement, especially if you like killing the NPCs. But who knows, they might be able to defend themselves in the very near future as well. Okay, so let's grab our claim block, and can we place it? Yes, we need to join the crew first. So at the moment it says place claim block, or place makeshift claim. It does not say anywhere that you need to be part of a crew or have created a crew. So this is the one thing that is really missing from the player guidance. So we go to tab, or I, depending on which key you've set for your inventory. Go to crews, and then basically type in a crew name. Now it could be absolutely anything. There is a limit on how many crews can go on the server at one time. I think it's about 280, but I could be wrong. So let's try our luck. What shall we call ourselves? There we go, we're called Super Saiyan Inc. We can have up to 50 members. Nice. Escape. Now, oops. Let's right click on that one and place. Can we place it here? Yes we can. Can we place it a little bit on a flatter surface? Yes we can. Okay, so we've got a nice starting location with some water close by. Actually, don't have to have water close by, it's just one of those handy things. Because there is an item in the game that allows you to make water. But once again, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Unfortunately, it does not get covered in the player guidance. Okay, so let's create a... Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so now we now need to create some power cells. So to create power cells, we need the workbench. So let's have a little look in crafting. Before we do the workbench, let's get a concrete tile going. Like enough, we don't need to have a workbench to make that. What do we need for that one? 6 iron bars, 4 metal sheets. Now the only thing that the landing pad is really good for is creating your own ship from scratch. But when you're doing that, don't bother making the warp drive, the fuel cell, and anything like that. You'll find that for the moment, it's not really needed. All you need to do is make the shell and put it together. I think it's just the shell, the cockpit, and the frame is all you need at the moment. Okay, so we've just created the base. Let's go to tools. What do we need for the workbench? We need some wooden planks. I've not made any wood planks yet. Okay, so we need 8 planks. Which reminds me, if we go into building, how many planks did we need for that thing? 16. So it's a total of 24 so far. And the door, another 4. So we need a total of 28 planks. Okay, so 28 divided by 2. It's 14. Okay, so let's go to component. Go to planks. We're gonna need. Oh no, I think we might be just on the border of what we need. So let's do that. I hope we'll have enough wood blocks left after that. Okay, after that we need to create tools. We need a workbench, only need one. Furnace, we're also going to need, we can make one. Good. And then we need to make power cells, which are on the component, I believe. Not on the component, where are they? Survival. No, that's where we were earlier. That's weird, because sworn that they'd be under component. They're not. Provisions. Nope. Building. Nope. Cool. No. That's weird. Let's go to all then. Oh, I know why we can't find it. It's because it requires the workbench. We should be able to see it in here though, but yeah. Okay, so let's put down our concrete tile. And let's not hog that thing completely to ourselves, so let's put that one down there. Okay, let's put down the workbench. One thing to notice, when you put down the furnace, it always puts it down backwards. So let's do that. And it should be looking in the right direction now. So it looks like we may still have to turn it ever so slightly. There we go. So now that's the right way around, and we can make some metal items. Okay, so let's make 3 fuel cells. So scroll all the way to the top. There are the fuel cells. We can make a total of 11, but we don't want 11 at the moment. Let's make 3. This is why I like to get all my resources before I actually get to this stage. These 3 power cells can be used either to get a vehicle, like a rover or a quad bike, anything like that, but they can also be used to claim one of those spacecrafts. You want one of those spacecrafts so that you can do some mining out in space. They're the only one that comes with a mining laser when you first claim them. However, if you want to put those into storage, I would recommend removing the mining laser first, then placing it into storage. Because if you don't and you remove the ship from storage, you might find your mining laser missing from the ship. So let's quickly have our character drink something. We still have 1 hearty meal left. We're going to have to do some hunting really soon. Let's also put down our campfire. Okay, so now it wants us to make a wooden cabin and a door and place them. That's why basically I had a little look to see how much wood we needed earlier. So let's make one of those and one of those. Now we could get some more wood and make a storage chest, which probably want to do later on as well. But let's quickly get this this house in. So let's select that one and rotate it. Sorry, rotate it into the correct direction for us. And let's see if we can get it on this corner without too much trouble. It would be nice if this stuff actually snapped to the concrete block. Unfortunately, it doesn't. There we go. Close enough. Definitely close enough. Okay, let's get the door in. Now, when it comes to opening up the doors, just look at the middle of it and hit F. Don't go, okay, the door is open, let's look at the door, hit F, it won't work. Also, don't accidentally hit X because you'll wind up picking up the door off the hinges. Oh, and the jumping that the character was doing, I wasn't actually doing that. So let's put down our sleeping bag in here. We may want to craft another one, but if we're constantly eating hearty stews, then we shouldn't really have to worry too much about sleep. There we go. Okay, so we are going to need some more meat. We should have enough salt for a little while. We're going to need to get some water. It now wants us to acquire this ship over here, so let's quickly do that. We can also see how long this horse has left before it despawns. It's got 10 days left remaining, so it looks like it's been dumped for a ship. Yep, again it's got that arrow on it saying item not available under construction, please do not use. Just ignore that box. Hit F. Okay, let's go in it so that we can remove the mining laser for the moment. Okay, so there's the mining laser. We want to take that one out for the moment so that when we put it into our, let's say, storage, we don't lose the laser itself. so let's go to info, pick up Nova. Yes. There we go. Let's also harvest this fiber. Okay, so next up, let's quickly get some water. We'll go up top and mine it very shortly, but I want to get us ourselves some more food and bits and pieces. So I'll just quickly get this lot out underway, and I shall see you guys when it's ready to deploy the ship again. Okay, so let's continue and quickly put that one down. Okay, and yeah, for some reason now we've got headlights, and this is why I basically picked up the mining beam, because I knew that if we picked up the ship with the mining beam in it, we'd lose it and we'd have to get another 3 power cells going and get another Nova. Now you can sell the existing Nova in, but didn't really want to have to do that. And for some reason all our fuel has gone to 100%, so that is a bug, but in a way it helps. Okay, so let's sit down in the seat, if we can. If our character would stop swaying. Okay, so let's go to third person view. And as you may be able to see, just in front of our cabin, we have something that is not accessible to the average player or buildable by the average player, and that's the loot access point. Yeah, we're able, if you've got dev status, mod status, or GM status, you can get one of those. Okay, so let's take off. Of course, when single player becomes available to just to everyone, I'm pretty sure that without the need of a server.
Operational. All systems green.
Yeah, so without the need of a server, when single player does that, I'm pretty sure that everyone will have the option to be able to play stuff like that. Looks like we've got somebody down there that's wanted. Good luck with the mechs. Okay. So let's just aim upwards and just go full speed ahead. So we need 5 uranium and 5 copper. The question is, are we actually going straight up or not? Let's bring it down a bit, okay. There we go. Okay, see all those little black blips? That's all shrapnel in the stratosphere, and that's where we can get the copper from. We can get a little bit of silicon from it, but the one thing we can't get from it is uranium. We have to go a little bit further for that. So which of these is closest? None of them apparently. Let's deduct to sea, so let's keep hitting the minimize button so that we don't crash into anything. So let's turn the lights on if we can. Not that I may think that they make any difference, but there we go. There's a couple coming into range now. Also note that we are currently in a PvP area. So anyone is fair game up here. So we have to watch out with that. And the laser is way off. Okay. There we go. Let's slow down. So we're taking platinum and copper. Now the platinum that we're getting are actually ingots, because there's no way to get the ores. And then the copper is just the copper ore that we're getting. Oh, where's the other one? Now we might want a little bit more than just 5 copper, but it does take a while to mine up that much. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably do a lot of the mining off camera after refueling the ship every now and again. And then we can see what else we need to do in order to get all the resources. Oops, that's all depleted. Okay. Is that close enough? No. So we're not down this side, which is close enough. That one looks it. But it's not. Let's go a bit faster. There we go. So when it comes to copper ore, I'd recommend no less than probably 50, just to be on the safe side. Now when it comes to the uranium, let's see how much we've got. We've got 21 so far. Let's get a little bit more copper, and then once we've got enough, I'll come back to you guys and I can show you guys where the uranium can be found. Okay, so I think we've now got enough copper. So we've got 68 copper, we have 8 platinum and 14 quartz. Now we don't want to sell or get rid of those two because we're going to need them later. So let's aim even higher. Yeah, I can't really read German either. I can read Dutch up to a point, but I can't do German. Oops. So we're aiming for these small rocks over here. How close do you have to get? Okay, slow down. Okay, so let's hit this one up. And there's the uranium. That's all platinum. And of course. Okay, so how much have we got? We've got 5 uranium already, so that's good. Now it doesn't say that we have to go, oh actually at the bottom it does, that we have to go to the refinery back down to the planet. However, the refinery back down the planet won't turn the uranium ore into anything useful. We'll go a little bit further than what the player guidance actually says. So I can actually show you guys how to make the rest of the resources, and if you're into building and you want to build your stuff instead of just buying it constantly through the game, in which case you have to do a hell of a lot of looting, we can go with that. So let's aim for the wanted person down there so we know where Clayton is, and we can go in for a landing. This lot, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. Oh, I keep heading tab instead of Q. Okay, let's go down below. I hope that we're pretty much where we want to be. Maybe not quite yet. Let's wait a little bit longer. Let's go down. And let's not kill the power, and let's just crash into planet and see what happens. Let's just try and hope that we don't land on somebody. Okay, so I'm letting go of the keyboard and the mouse and see what happens. I might tweak it every now and again so that we actually land where we want to land, but think. Are we going up? That's not good. We want to go down. Somebody got killed by lack of option. Okay. Think. Ah. Okay. H. Nice. Let's try and get a little bit closer to where our base is, though.
Welcome. Vehicle is operational. All systems green.
I'm surprised that one hasn't been killed by the mechs yet. Okay, so the little green house marker over there, that's where our base is. Let's go in that direction. Oh. Look, a replacement ship is already there. land. Are we going to land on our... No, actually it's not too bad. I don't think. Let's have a look. Let's get out of the sea. That's not too bad. Right on the corner. I thought we were going to land on the workbench. Okay, so we've got the bits and pieces that we need, but we're going to need to go over to the refinery. So let's see, we still have 49 arrows. So let's quickly go over there. Where is the refinery? Refinery. Oh, sorry. It's right there. Okay. No animals yet. Would like some more meat. There's the bear. Oh yeah, the water effects on the HUD, it's all new. Where was that bear again? Ah, there it is. Ew, I don't like the fact that the trawler is so close to it. Okay, it looks like the bear may have seen us already. But it's a little bit stuck. Let's get the bow out so we can force it to come to us. I don't want to have to use the bow, but I don't like where that trawler is. So that trawler would definitely come after us if we get any closer to it. Ouch. I'm having one of those days again, aren't I? Yeah, when they're higher than you, then it's a problem. Ouch. Way too cool. There we go. Nice. 2 meat. Did we hit it? Nice. Oh, looks like there's 2 wanted people down there. Maybe they're shooting each other. Okay, so next part is that we need to go to the refinery and turn the copper ore into copper ingots. Now if you hit this problem where they're not coming up, it's probably coming up because 9 times out of 10 it comes up with this piece saying vehicle vehicle inventory or something like that. Hit tab, then go out, and then you should be able to, yep, now you can use it again. It's weird, but it's a little known issue. Okay, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave the episode there, guys, for the player guidance. So this was the whole of it. So as soon as this hits that we've got 5 blocks of copper, the player guidance basically disappears. So now it's basically going, okay, now you know the basics, go continue by yourself. However, there are a couple of things that are still yet to be covered, like how you make plastic, why you need the plastic, also what not to make with the plastic, I'll cover that later as well, and what the uranium is for. So what I'll do is I'll make a separate guidance video after this one goes up, and that will cover the next couple of stages as to what we can do in order to get a ship, how we can create a ship, buying a ship, making the parts to make the ship, and so on. So I'll call it the Player Guidance Mark II, or something thereabouts, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video. So if you've liked this one, please leave a like. If you didn't, please let me know why. Also, if you're not subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button to help the channel grow, and the little bell icon to get notified when the next one goes up. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time in one of the other videos or in game.